We're at a stage now where we are starting to build our real portfolio, the one that we're going to use for our final project for this class. And some of you are in a position where you want to build your website for practical reasons. You might be getting ready to look for a job. Some of you are still a little ways off and not ready to actually look for a job, but are taking this course so that you can learn for future job searching how to use a web portfolio for career purposes. So I want to make sure that everybody's needs are met through our final project. I've given you some requirements for our final project. You're going to be required to have a link to your resume, career statement that you're going to be working on. You're going to have to include 3 additional categories such as certificates or work samples. And within those additional categories, you need to include at least 2 samples. So for example, it might be, if it were work samples, it might be that you attach a copy of a research paper where you did pretty well, and it would demonstrate to an employer the skills, if this was appropriate for your job search, the skills that they would value. Or maybe a certificate, or if you made the dean's list and you have a letter confirming that, you could scan that and include it. So if you don't have enough material, don't panic. I give you the option to put something make-believe in place so that you can complete the assignments successfully. I encourage you to try to come up with original things that are yours, but let me know if you have concerns about that. It's not, if you don't have it, you don't have it, and I don't want you to get penalized for that because of that purpose. So with that said, let's now go back to our portfolios, and I'm going to just keep working off of webs.com, but again, you can use other formats that you might be comfortable with. I've had people use the WordPress, some people have used PowerPoint. This seems to be the most popular, so that's why I'm going to kind of focus on the webs.com. So when you created your link last week, if you log back in, you're going to see the website that you created, and now you can go ahead and go into it and edit it. So when you click on the edit this site, it takes you to the My Pages section, and it's showing any page that you've created. So I've created a home page, and I added a new page for career statement. I added a page for resume, writing samples, awards, certificates, transcripts. Now, one thing to keep in mind, some people have concerns about privacy. You have the ability to put protections in place, so you can have your entire portfolio protected, where you only invite certain people to view it. So we want everyone in the class to be able to view it, but if you have concerns about that, again, that's an option for you. So how do you load your resume? How do you attach a link to a picture? You go up here to this File Manager section, and it's a little confusing at first. We tend to want to go down here because that's where the content is at, but Webs makes you go all the way up here to the File Manager, and I put some directions in the assignment folder to remind you how to do this. So when you go into the File Manager up here, these are things I've already put in. So when you're at this place in the My Pages section, this is where you want to be able to add content from your desktop or from your computer. You might have your resume loaded and saved in a folder on your regular computer. Now we need to get it to load into the webs.com site so that it can go to your specific link on your web page. And to do that, instead of down here, you want to go up to the very top, and it took me a while to figure this out. So just remember to add files, to add like links to pictures or certificates or resumes. That's up here in the File Manager section. So when you click on File Manager, then you're going to have the option to upload files through this Upload Tools. So I've already uploaded a bunch of documents, but let's just pretend I still need to upload my resume. and my resume is saved in a folder on my computer. I go into the single file uploader, and then I go into the choose file. So I need to find the file that I want to upload. So let's say it's saved right in here, and this is the resume that I am going to use in my career portfolio. So I choose it, and it will upload when I click Upload File. Okay, so now if I look at my documents, that one had an 8 by it, you can see this is the resume that I just uploaded. So it is in my list of files. So now what do? The next thing I do is I go back to my site manager. And I'm back to where I started, and let's say I want to edit my resume page. So I go here and I click Edit. I've already attached a resume, but let's pretend I haven't. So let's just pretend this is blank. I will click Content Box. I'm going to put in my title. Well, let's put in this first. Let's just say, click here to view my resume. And maybe I want it to link right here. So this is the thing that I want highlighted for someone to click. So I take my mouse and I highlight it. Then, this is where it gets a little tricky. Now, how do I add a file? What I want to do is go to the link section. Okay? So I've already saved my file, and now I go into the link, and it gives me an option to link from a bunch of choices. So I'm going to link it from my files. And these are all the files I've uploaded. So I find the resume that I want, and it was this one here. So I click on that and I say Insert Link, and you can see it's highlighted. So now it's inserted a link to my resume. Whoops, I just deleted it. Once that's done, then your linked resume is here. I would go ahead and publish it, then I can view it, and I've put in a copy of the link to my sample portfolio so you can play around with it and see what it would look like. I don't want to save it because I don't want it to be permanent in mine, so I'm just going to get rid of it. But that gives you the steps on how to add the content to your portfolio. So hopefully that makes sense. If you have any problems, let me know. I know it can get a little confusing at times, but hopefully this tutorial will remind you how to go back and add the content for the different areas.